Well, hello, hello, hello. As you can see, I am very much alone. We have been organizing to do this usual Sunday chat, but Mr. Crack is quite busy today. I'm not sure if he's even going to join me, so it's a bit lonely to be honest. I am used to having him on Sundays to have a chat, but I hope that I'm still gonna do this. Maybe some of you will turn up and watch this therapy session. It would be helpful. But if you watch later on, welcome. I have been doing quite a few live chats actually this week by myself. But it's just because this is supposed to therapy session, you need some assistance with that. Anyway, it's been great reading week. We haven't done a chat for long. I was really looking forward to this. It does extremely help talking to somebody about comic books you read. It just reaffirms some ideas you have thought you read after. Also, share everything. So yeah, it's kind of weird. At nighttime, alone, oh, scary. Um, so so as I said, I have been reading quite a few things. But first, I wanted to point out something I've watched. I really liked. This is the movie I watched. It's called a Rental Family, Brendan Fraser's movie. It's such a warm, happy movie. Highly recommend to watch if you haven't yet decided to do so, or you haven't yet even knew about this. Please go and check it out. If you're a fan of Brendan Fraser, he's just as good as I remember him beforehand. I haven't watched his, I think it's called Monster or Beast movie. But I just really wanted something light-hearted, and this is really beautiful. It's set in Japan. All these cast members, these actors, are fantastic. The chemistry between all of them felt great. A lot of heartfelt things, quite a weird situations, especially this company which providing rental services for people. There was the scene with Brendan Fraser's character had to become a pretend boyfriend to be married, and they had all this ceremony all done up because the girl whose family didn't agree with a lot of things has basically disagreed with her, so she is a kind of doing this, renting this boyfriend, and they get married, become a husband, part of the family. All the parents are happy. She just goes back to live wherever her life it was after. So she doesn't have a turmoil of thinking that. I'm not sure how that makes anybody feel like, but it's kind of intriguing. So yeah, very fantastic movie. Highly recommend. It's definitely on, should be on the people's radar. All right, so who else? Oh, watched a couple of episodes of Wonder Man. That was fantastic, but a bit slow for me. I'm not sure why Wonder Man is actually even exists in TV show realm for Marvel. I don't know much about him. I know a little bit, like it was part of the Avengers team when the Iron Man was still hiding his identity. I read several issues with him. He was like macho kind of guy, tried to protect females, but he's also like a womanizer in a sense, or at least that's the feeling I got after I read a couple of those issues. The TV show set so far great. I mean, there's quite a bit of chemistry between the creators as well, but it's interesting. Wonder Man, I don't know how much I'm gonna watch. I watched 2 episodes. That was so far okay. Of course, I guess I need to make my mind up when it finishes with the series. I don't know how many episodes there will be gonna be. Right. What else is it worth mentioning? Oh yeah, Star Trek. Right, controversial. I really like Star Trek Academy. It's a bit more like a teenage structure thing, because at the end of this academy of teaching kids to become new Star Trek fleet members, what it does really work for me is that the captain, the number one, the doctor, they are, like the doctor especially is the Voyager's artificial, and he has this, aging as well. So it's kind of interesting. So Star Trek has always been my thing. I really also enjoy watching anything Star Trek, really. I don't mind it. I don't. Yes, of course, it would be interesting to see more intense, maybe storylines a bit mellow at the beginning, and like lots of testosterone flying around, those beautiful build-up bodies of those cadets. It's fine to look at, but it's just story building up a little bit more. And I think the last episode I watched, which is the newest one with the Klingons, where that Dr. Klingon, who is not really supposed to be part of because of the burn, Klingon Empire has been fighting once again with Starfleet, so we don't agree with anything combined. But Klingon race apparently is disappearing because their world has been destroyed, and they have left a couple of like families alive, and they have like their species were in so much trouble. The episode was good, but just felt like I didn't have enough attack in that episode. Right. I think anything else is worth mentioning. I can't keep my mind up. It's very different doing this therapy advisory session by myself. I'm not sure if people will turn up as well, to just give me a chat a little bit and scroll through, but whatever happens. Okay. Okay, so because I mentioned Star Trek, and because I've been reading quite a few Star Trek based comic books, but this one has been quite spectacular from a get-go, and I was surprised how much I really liked it. When did I press? I think I pressed this one. Oh yeah, there you go. So Star Trek Lore War is Christopher Cantwell, Colin Kelly, Jason Lansing, Ryan North, David Tinto, and Derek Chalmers. You can see it in here. Great esteem. What a surprising tale, and really well done for me. So if you're a fan of Star Trek universe, if you're aware of all the histories, if you watched Deep Space Nine, and your Sisko, who was one of the guy in charge. There is Beverly in here. There is a Lore, bad guy of Data's brother, who always has been sought after power. So that's fantastic. Right, and it's so Lore's War is called this tale. It's a lot of tidbit information by RW. Malachi Ward, that's quite a fantastic. These covers, I really enjoy this art. But in here, Lore is taking complete over of the universe. He's the god. He created it. He used things in order to create this thing, the world, or according to his own, not like image as a god, but also the ideas he has for having or control over all this the characters of a Star Trek. So Sisko is the main guy here, because Sisko is from Deep Space Nine, and he has had a lot of things, turbulences. When the Deep Space Nine happened, he has disabilities, but in here it seems to be gave like a normal life where it's very mundane. The wife he has lost in Deep Space Nine is alive in this universe. Also, has hair he's willing to grow. Apparently, that's not a problem for him, which I was aware of that. He is doing jobs like, like your average Joe. There's nothing he's in charge of. He's not a big figure. And that's the whole idea of Lore's world, where he wanted to completely be a godlike figure and everybody was just these peasants. Beverly Crusher is here, and she is also friends of Ben Sisko's, but she is like really happy-go-lucky to become just to do whatever she's doing. She doesn't. A lot of them, by the way, don't have a clue that Lore is in as a god. They are worshiping him because apparently he completely eradicated their minds from memories. So that was interesting. But then this creature comes at Sisko, and he is Calais or Forgotten, and he has this sword or weapon, and made Sisko remember his past. So that's what he does. By holding the weapon, he's able to understand what was actually truth and what's not truth. So it's fantastic, actually, splash page. Very good story. Lots of trials and tribulations, like really easy because he remembers. He has decided that no hair is needed anymore. He's becoming what you know of Ben Sisko. So yeah, and also funny enough, the Worf, our very Klingon from the Star Trek Next Generation, from Deep Space Nine, he is in charge of Enterprise, and he is absolutely 100% sure he's doing the right thing with Lores, and he's a patsy of Lores, really. So it's there is a lots of tidbits information where you have Worf son is part of this. Also, you have all those characters from the Deep Space Nine coming in here and doing whatever if you have watched any Star Trek stuff, that are just so much Easter eggs, that they call them. This guy in here becomes quite an integral part of how to defeat Lore. And yeah, it's very good story. Highly recommended. Art is throughout fantastic. In Lore's name, that's his temple. When that situation happened, it actually explains how he became what he is and how much he's in charge of. There's lots of things in here which I don't want to spoil because it makes more sense and it rewards you right at the end of the storyline. Really good. One of the strongest Star Trek comic-based stories I've read so far. I have not been reading Star Trek-based comic books at all. And just recently, IW has been creating some. I have read them digitally as well. Another tidbit of information, which is very exciting, to be honest, for me, it was that Borg and Vulcan are the same. That was kind of interesting take. If I could have this as an episode in Star Trek, it will definitely take my attention. I would be fascinated to see this as a TV show, because it's just really, I felt it was strong Star Trek series. So once again, if you like to read something Star Trek based, Star Trek Lore War was really good. Right. I'm not sure if I have. Oh yeah. Right. Next things on my agenda. Let's see if I have any information or something from Crack. No, I do not. Wonder Woman. So, Absolute Wonder Woman was, I have read it on, picked up volume 1 from my library. Really was impressed by her, all issues. Then I made it kind of like I have not read it after. I know there's more than, what now, 16 issues, because I found out there will be, of course, on all the images in your socials, I found out that Zatanna will be appearing in Absolute Wonder Woman. And I've never have given Zatanna much of the kind of like attention while she was appearing in this universe. So I thought, why not? I will have that. I want to kind of start reading from that point onwards. So I managed to get in touch with my comic guy, and he said to me that issue 12, it's her first appearance, but I have managed to read digitally once again up to that issue 12. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And from 12 onwards, hopefully my comic book guy will be able to sort me out with the Absolute Wonder Woman. So let me share with you once again this. So issue 7 of Absolute Wonder Woman. It's just kicks, is really fascinating. I love. Okay, so digital versus floppy. Stands out colors are really much more in digital format because of a backlit screen. Makes a hell of a difference. However, it's still in a comic format. It's as great as it is in digital format. This comic book is as surprising me as ever. Like, it's proper. Has the story, kept me interested in the story for a very long time, for what it is. So The Lady of the Tiger is where I started reading. I mean, since I finished reading volume 1. And it's so good. I can only say this. Really fascinated by Kelly Thompson's writing. I'll continue get immersed in this world. I really like how Wonder Woman has been brought up with Saoirse, how much information has been provided for her by her, how much love she's been feeling in the world of underworld. Yeah, how much protection she's been given by this god, and that this continuously being extremely fascinating read, and I think one of the best reads for me, especially, but maybe because I read the volume 1 of Absolute Batman, and it's great. I think I guess I should read more, but this one is kind of like, it just speaks to me more, I guess, and I'm intrigued by that. Right, and it's really good. Highly recommend it. So I read all these issues. I'm just going to give you an example of the digital and things, and I'm going to just share you now issue 12. But before, I managed to completely damaged this comic. I have a water damage, like proper. And these comic books, when they get water damage, whoa, watch out, right? Color breakage, there's smudging. I don't know if you can, there you go, you can see, Jesus. So I was so angry because I spilled coffee on it. And I was like, wow, the first one, it's like, it doesn't want me to have a, this comic book in my collection, it seems to be. So issue 12 is her being in the maze and finding this lady here who is being kept in this maze for a very long time. She's Atlantean. She got kind of corrupted because she had to be kind of surviving, and her excuse was, in order to survive, was to eat the beings of who she's in charge of. So it's kind of fascinating how much people can do in order to survive. I'm not sure if it's the right way of doing that, because there's other creatures. She came to help Wonder Woman, and to her surprise, she's met one of the Forgotten Sisters. What she fought, like Themyscirian sisters who she fought. It's only fairy tale, and also them thinking the same thing. that Wonder Woman never survived, and that she is not. It's just a myth kind of thing. So, in order to help this Minotaur and this Siren, she went to great lengths in this maze, but to her detriment, Wonder Woman's powers are fabulous. She's in managing to wield a Poseidon's gun, trident of Poseidon, and the Atlantean lady was as surprised as ever how she managed to be able to acquire those powers, because you in order to wield that trident, I guess you're supposed to have a maybe a blood of Atlantean, and also the godlike creature. She's doing well. Also, we found out that the Themysciran chick who was found by Wonder Woman, she isn't being taken away, and of course she's been taken into Underworld. Sorry for the glare. Wow, the glare is fascinating. So damaged Wonder Woman number 12, but there's surprise, as I say, surprise appearance. I'm not going to show you how it came to be because it's kind of a spoiler of the comic book, but it's fascinating. Wonder Woman number 12, great. So I'm looking forward to read now from 13 onwards. Hopefully my comic goodbye will sort me out with their issues. So I started with a very strong issue. Before I go for another ones, I'll show you things I'm reading, but I'm not finished yet. Why the hell not? I picked up this Rogue Trooper Complete Collection number 1 in library. So 2000 ADs thing. One thing I can tell you, when they reprint magazine format into a things, they always have those gaps, which I don't like. It squishes the art. I know they're trying to kind of make sure that it all fits, because the format of the page format is completely different to any collected editions. But those wide caps are really not something great, because it feels like a waste of space. The story, Brian Boland is drawing all of it at the beginning. I think this Rogue Trooper has always been on my radar to read for a long time. Don't lose that page where you finish reading. And it's of course, enhanced kind of human, like robotic soldier who is able to withstand any toxics into his lungs because of that artificially enhanced body parts he has in him. Very good art. Boland is doing fantastic. It's like, I guess that's where he came into scenes, from doing this very busy paneling stuff, black and white, and there's no color, I don't think. No, all in black and white. So yeah, this is library. I guess I will have a couple more opinions given to you later on when I finish it. It's quite a chunker. Oh, there is the covers, which is in color. Of course, that's originally how it actually came out. There you go. There's creative team. Alan Moore's name is here. I didn't know that even he managed to write, or did I not remember this? There you go. The first appearance cover, prog. Goes to the first. If you can find that. Must be quite expensive these days. Beautiful covers. And I like the way they did that, like yellowed background page. Really does make them stand out. Very good. Love it. Love. Oh, look at that cover. Like that. It seems to be this, what I read so far, he has been placed in this null earth, whatever they call it, and he's basically supposed to be like listening to all the commands of the troopers around, but he's like has his own mind, and he became a rogue one. But there are not many left. I think there's only one. He also carries, they have this chip implantation, so when they die, they can also put them in other bodies, insert the memories with that chip, and they become what they are again with a new body part. So, and he was carrying 3 of his mates on the back. The one in the backpack who was talking to him, and another one on a helmet, another one in a gun, and they used them kind of ability to, he was able to use them to his advantages when it came to situations where he couldn't handle it by himself. So it kind of really fascinated me that. Another one, I was almost finished with this one, but I didn't. The Mummy by Image Comic Books. It's written by Faith Erin Hicks, who is a writer, artist, and she has Lee Luridge as a colorist in here as part of the Monsters line. Don't know anything about Monsters line. I picked it up. So very engaging comic. I mean, I've seen it on YouTube. One of you guys probably has been sharing. Yeah, right, artist Luridge, yes, that's one. And it's mummies, Egypt, the position of bodies. Great so far. I need to see the end of it because it's a love story which has to be taking over the bodies. This guy in front of the cover, he's the one who's using scrolls to make somebody alive he loved, and he was separated by death, and he cursed it like we all do, mummies, Egyptians, so we know the histories. So great so far. One of the fantastic reads is Matthew Dooley's Aristotle's Cuttlefish. Matthew Dooley is fantastic writer, artist, general creator of comic books. I read the first things I found out about Matthew Dooley is from a book called Flake, and now he's doing Aristotle's Cuttlefish. It's so good. He got fame from Flake, and now he's been doing this. This one has been published in 2025, so last year, so it's brand new creation, and is as wonderful as ever. It has all the color scheme like he always had before in the Flake, and his dedication to mom and dad in here. It's a story about a guy who was in charge of lost possessions, and the council had a special warehouse where all this lost possession has been kept, lost and found, and we following this character who is in charge of it. It's in Dobson Town Council. This is the guy we will be following through. His story is very sad. It's always with Dooley. He knows how to pull the heartstrings quite well in the storyline, and we follow him through the life until this current age, where he's meeting a younger generation, and that younger generation makes quite a big difference in his life, because he was so content in doing what he did. He was so passionate about these items. You also find that all the items after, I think 6 months were belonging to the council, and he kind of used them to create some stuff he felt like would be well worth his time. And it seemed that one person in all clutter in creation would have been what else he needs, but the one thing that keeps him coming back home is this little bird, the only one which kind of thing what's waiting for him. Is really good storyline. It has kind of like scarily opened my mind to a lot of things like getting old and be scared of being old alone. So Toby is a very great help. He's a a student who has to have job experiences ends up going to the council where they can't find the place for him because apparently the person they assigned him to be shadowing in the council is not there anymore. He's changed locations. So by chance, Toby has been placed with our main character. And when they first met together, they of course didn't get along that much a lot because of one, the guy wanted to be left in peace. The teenager just wanted to spend time, didn't think of anything, but he was curious cat and almost kind of felt like almost to similar personalities. So they kind of got some common sense. He was really fascinated by becoming a musician, even though he couldn't even play an instrument. So really cool. Oh, such a wonderful story. Highly recommend. If you haven't read anything from Matthew Dooley, I highly recommend this, but also Flake. He is one to watch. I definitely, if you guys have a chance to go to your libraries and find, like I do, printed by Penguin Random House, or Jonathan K. book is called. So yeah, very cool. Aristotle's Kettlefish. So fantastic find. I think every single time now I'm going to look for Dooley, because so far 2 out of 2 for me. He knows kind of like good way of dealing with stories, and it's just really easy. But it kind of sad, but also easy to kind of get into. But it just has that good feel after that, when you finish reading it, because it does have a good ending, which is, of course, does help the book as well. Oh boy, my throat is dry. I need some help. Terrence. Anyway, right. What else do I have to talk about? Okay, the pull list. I pick up my books because my pull list is quite short. So once a month, I usually get it. Sometimes a bit quicker because if you have more than 3 books, and I ask them to deliver to me. But I finally read Escape Number 5 by Rick Remender. It's a war-based storyline where feuding parties have like bat anthropomorphic creatures. So bats are the guys which supposed to be a bad guy, because we're following one of the pilots who crashed into this plane into the city, where they basically bombard them because they didn't have any more. His plane got shot down. He didn't have a choice. The last thing he did was land just a ginormous amount of bombs into the city, and then crashed, but survived. The only one from the group of the pilots. He was the pilot who didn't really want to be part of it. He was because he was kind of enlisted without wanting to be part of. So in this issue particularly, they starting to suspect this baker, who has been supposedly they thinking if covering for fugitive. Thankfully for our main protagonist, is this baker guy is protecting him, even though because he doesn't agree to whatever everybody is doing. There's these conversations where saying, "Oh, you should be like, we suspect you because your wife were against our ways of living, and she was protesting." And it also made us understand that his wife died because of that belief, and his daughter also. So it's quite quite intriguing storyline behind them. Lots of like that repression, only a couple of them surviving. By chance that our pilot got wind of this place, and in a way everything worked out for them. But solution to somehow, if their chance to survival, I don't think he even thinks of, because one man in a place where it's absolutely well guarded, and Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna is doing a splendid job. It's a bit, it's one kind of steady issue and the one very much action. So it's building up the story to what it is. And we'll see how this pilot of ours going to continue as his escape plan, or is he actually going to do something more and never know if his newborn baby boy will ever see his dad. So Escape number 5. Very strong, recommend the book, in my opinion. Extremely good. It's just like, I think when Rick Remender is like always has those artist and himself combination, it really does work well. Very well. Okay. Once again. Yep, nothing. Okay, next things. Okay, if I continue with a recommender. Hopefully that didn't really involve that much of noise for you guys. The Sacrifices. I really liked the issue before, number 17. I think it worked for me with Luna and her removal of her family of gods. So Luna, almost that. And we starting the story of 30 years later after. It doesn't have a bit of reminder. For me, it really helps. I really like that in the comic books. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. But it's so there's, since Soluna is in charge, she has had a lot of, well, the people have had a lot of problems. Now the plague, the crops, the beer survival is absolutely not present anymore. So, and it seems to be, even though as horrible as they were in this story, the gods I meant, they were necessary for everybody's survival, even though how they were treating youngs, because they would take them, take their basically essence and will drink that at the party. But because of the destructions, we only have one god left, I presume. And of course, our pigeon's daughter, or not daughter, sister, is still here, and she's becoming a doctor, or seems to be, or at least helping people in here. Very heartfelt scene here where the family who was trying to help their son, unfortunately, there was no time to survival anymore, and they are really losing the, what do you say it, losing the faith in God. Left Saluna, they keep on praying to her, saying, give us all this, like, can you please do us this favor? What do we have? What do you want us to do? Give us an idea of what can happen, so our children won't die like this. And then here it shows how, what Saluna has to do. She has to do a lot, and the only thing also what stops her from being, like what previous gods were, is that entity which consumes her. And yeah, she looks horrible. What's interesting is that she has 2 kids now. So 30 years later, she still have kids with the pigeon. And he's the one who's trying to help everybody. Everybody's trying to help each other to understand what we can do to maneuver this part of the existence. Really, really difficult kind of like situation she's in. I'm not sure who to believe. I used to felt like she was a good guy, but I think she's struggling. They really don't know how to deal with the situation they're into. They saying, both of them are having conversations that, everything's dying, plagues, it's so much in in here, and there's no kind of like help. The tides are not working because there's no moon, so Soluna has to become a moon. There's no crops in summer in daytime, so the sun has to rise, so Soluna has become sun. So there is lots of situations in here, and I'm not sure how Rick Remender gonna go forward with it. It just seems so much more doom and gloom now, even though it felt like, sacrifices they were used for the gods. Things were very terrible stuff, but this what's happening at the moment in this universe 30 years later doesn't seem any better, maybe less kind of taken away because you have to sacrifice somebody in order to do the job. But what the whole killing of gods, did that make any better for them? There's the freedom is good in them after, so it's kind of a question this book is giving them. So really cool. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I mean, I always did like it. I kind of dipped a little bit with one show where the Rick Remender will take this comic book, but yeah, it seems to be so far. It's going strong once again. We have kind of a glimpse and ideas where he's taking this. We'll get to sense of, it will be a resolve, and hopefully it's gonna continue from strength to strength. So Andrea Lima Rojo is another artist who's giving a help for our creators. So yeah, it's a different artist, but still story is compelling. And sometimes having trouble actually with sacrifices, because then the change of the artist, some of the characters I'm not really sure who they are, especially when I have this gap reading between. So yeah, it's kind of fascinating when it comes to that. Let me see if I have anything else to share on the digital format. What else did I read that stood out? Well, I mean, I can show you that, but it really didn't give me any pleasures too much of. I really kind of read it to see where is she at now. I guess I could just share. So Catwoman number 83. I don't know, just randomly decided because the Court of Owls is one of the writings I really enjoyed, and I definitely felt like they opened to something which should kind of be interesting to have further down the line, because of, they are quite a formidable group of creatures, and they have their own ideas how they want everything to be, and seems to be now it's in Catwoman's world. The art style is great. Thankfully, it's on the first page. Danilo Beyruth is the pencil artist. Whoosh. Oh, sorry, that's my phone making noises, which I don't really need to hear at the moment. So yeah, it's kind of showing Italy long time ago, where we kind of explore Vincenzo Falcone's kind of life and his son, who comes into kind of take over for his father's, like what he's going to inherit in that time. I like that old style look to the comic book for sure. I think that really works. It's because it's in the past. It's also great color storytelling. Very much like Mazzucchelli's influence in this artist. Maybe just the way it feels like it, the way it's been drawn, the characters, the blacks used. And then the stark difference between two pages, now Venice, and how Court of Owls comes into picture of Catwoman's world. It's here to see that our mafia people from Gotham, they're not invincible. They also question each other. They also struggles with a idea of how who is in charge? Why are you in charge of this one? So it's like, mistrusting each other all the time. And there's a murder happens because of that mistrust, right in the middle of that famous Venice mask show. And it's kind of fascinating that they would murder somebody in that situation. But also it's flips and flops between Venice and afterwards also in Gotham, what Court of Owls is doing. So Court of Owls is being on a murder spree. There's this guy who's in charge. They don't really disclose. They're very, quite graphic, but thankfully it's in black, right? It's not as scary. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm not sure what else I can say about it. It reading only one issue didn't give me a sense of like too much about this comic book. I don't know if I want to read it further down more. Of course, Falcones has always been an interesting part of the Batman universe. So Catwoman universe is intertwined in that. So that is also quite fascinating by itself. And they find out, people getting fingers broken because of, they need to disclose some information. So far, intriguing. How far Court of Owls gonna come into this is just the beginning of the story, so definitely not something I can tell you much after. Right. Ooh, actually quite long talking to myself. So weird doing this. I'll talk about one of the best reads so far, and it's actually really doing well for itself. Finally, I can talk about Kaya. This is Kaya. This is a special colossal issue of Kaya. Funny enough, so this colossal issue, when I put in CLZ, it's a separate title. It's not part of the Kaya's title. This is a special we keep on coming out with. And it's with all its greatest who comes to help Mr. Craig to do one like a special issue. So this is apparently, according to my comic book guy, this is issue 31. But CLZ will be giving you if you use CLZ app, it will tell you as its own. So there will be always missing the issue 31. So which is very bizarre. And here, what really helps, if you haven't read yet Kaya's story, this Colossal Kaya is actually really helpful because it has a story so far. It tells you every single bit and information you need to understand where the Kaya and oh look, who's here? Yes.
Hello.
Hello. It only took me almost 50 minutes to talk by myself.
Yeah, right. Just give me 1 second. Nothing is set up here. Just you keep talking and I'll work on my end here.
I'm going to do the talking Kaya. Kaya. So it's a very good pickup point for people to, if you want to go and read them in singles, because this is explanation of what so far happened to Jin and Kaya. All the journey so far. It's actually a really good reminder. Also for us who has been reading Kaya from the get-go. You read that, right?
I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, but you read this one, right?
Is that the big Colossal? Yeah, I have not read the Colossal one because I don't have the Colossal one. I think I'm still missing it, so I don't know. I don't think I have it.
So it's basically shows you all the continuation. I can actually put myself now in big screen. So weird. So yeah, it basically tells you all the story so far by Craig. So it's actually really good snippet back information. So you get everything, whatever we have read. So if you have forgotten something, it's in here. If you're new, it's great because you get all the information, and then from that point onwards, you have kind of thing. I mean, I know it's a storytelling, but I don't know how you feel about these, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just one page, but it makes sense the further you go. At the beginning, it's like, what the hell? It doesn't make any sense because of the way the story is written. But it continues with, after that, it continues a little bit more information given to us about the beings also. So it's all about reminder of what happened and a bit more information what happens to them after. Because I don't know if you recall from previous issue. So you have read this one, right, or not? Because I think you showed it to me.
Yes, I think so. Is that one where they go into the future, look at Kaya in the future a
Yes,
little bit?
it's
I have read
standalone
that
issue
one.
as well, right?
Yeah.
So because they split up, right? They go, Jin's going with the Razel and Kaya's going her own way. But she basically gets left behind, right?
Mhm.
So, and there, it's actually quite good to see other creators doing our main characters, and also, you know, the Razel, the bad guy, with a very beautiful lump of hair, right? So yeah, it's really good. I mean, so far it's always like, look, but you can slightly see there is some things on it. It says stomp on it, and it continues to be kind of like, it gets louder and louder. So whatever happened in that hidden castle and situations we're in, they awaken something. So I don't want to spoil it for you. We also get a story back with that defeated looking like Galactus guy who was in charge before, and he's basically hidden in the cave, and he is basically kind of don't want to do anything anymore because they banished him, right? He's is the bad guy who is not hasn't done anything good for for the mother, you know, the being who's in charge of all those robot race. And there's these two Fox characters are coming in by chance into this cave, and like, I want this, can you give it to me? And he's like really like talks to them like he's like a creature of really like scary things, like almost like a ghost. Come, join me, come closer. You're not going to be afraid to talk to me now in order to get this what you want. So it's kind of interesting. As I say, it's really good. I love that. Once again, look, stompies. And of course, it's a really reveal after. So this is Riley Rossmo. I didn't know Riley is also Canadian. So Riley Rossmo is Canadian, and that's his work. It's a silent, several pages. He at the back of the Colossal comic, we also have a script. So if you want to do the same what Riley did, you kind of have a chance to do. So if you want to write the story of Kaya, or try at least. Riley Rossmo's work is great. Honestly, it looks fantastic. Look at this page. It's just very colorful. A bit more random. Then Greg is a bit more clear with chaos. Some artists, chaos is sometimes your head is a little bit overly. And this is I'm not going to show you next page because you want to know for yourself, right? So hopefully you will be able to find it, right?
I mean, I hope I will. It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Well, I hope.
Well, he's writing in the back of it somewhere. Was it on this one? Oh, this is cool.
Oh, that is cool.
That's like a poster. It's an old school feel vibe to this comic book for sure.
Yeah.
You get a poster at the back, and of course you have people coming to draw. This is that Manhood guy. You know, he's quite.
Oh, Mahfoud Jim.
Yeah, that's his signature, right? It says Mahfoud.
Cool.
So he done this is his iterations of Kaya. And then he has these pages in here. And he's saying how much all of the stuff he's been doing and his progress is actually, and the name of Kaya is more and more prominent in the comic book field, and that it really helps him to continue. He tells you once again, the plan he's planning to do, that is going to be issue 50 issues of this, by the way, Kaya. So now we know the end number. So he's now he says, I think, volume 6 of the story. I think that's where we're gonna start after this one. And the stark difference, yes. You see, I just know, like I was reading it like normal, right? Because it's a future. Her hand is no more metal anymore. Her hand is wood, right?
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating. I always like this. I want more of it. It also gives you just slight tidbits of information. There's lots of things happening in here. I really like this rabbit who has this fascinating braided beard. He is great character. And then she has this people who is feels like she's supposed to be in charge of, and she doesn't like the idea of being called princess. Even though there's lots of people behind her, and they kind of disagree and agree because all of them are kind of like disgraced humans because they're going after somebody who you're not supposed to go for, and they call her person in charge. And she's like, no, I'm not really in charge, but then you always want us to follow the rules you have been giving to us, kind of thing. So it's a bit of a seesaw of the situation for her.
Accept the role, yeah.
Yeah, because she finds this guy, and she's like telling him, like, just like plain and simply, oh, you've been stealing from us. You've been gambling our, whatever we have gathered. And then she said, like, and he's one of the people who's in charge. And then she's like, well, you have to leave now. And then the other guy was really concerned of her decisions because they need everybody. And they're going after somebody in this great, great building. And that's when I spotted that her arm is very different. It's all like this wood / I don't know, tentacles or whatever, those like fangs made of things. So what's your opinion about this one?
I liked that issue quite a bit. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And
it
then
was just that and that newest Sacrificers, just kind of both good reminders of, they're fun books, man.
Yeah, that's Riley Rossmo again.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I thought, that he did the backup there too. Yeah.
So it's really good. And he says in here, I like the way they are drawn. Actually, more childlike. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He says in here, if I disappear by any chance, I want him to continue the story. And they also have extras of other creators doing some stuff. And people from Instagram, apparently. They have Instagram logos in this one. So that's a good advertisement for people to give. So it's very much into community kind of style of it, which I really like. It feels like it's more... Oh, yeah. It tells you in here that the whole slew of information is provided to you. Really good. So it's funny. So I don't know, you weren't here when I said to you, do you know that when you put this in CLZ... Sorry, I don't have to be all blasted. I'm so used to having myself. So, this one, if you put in CLZ, it's not part of the Kaya run.
Oh, really?
It's like its own entity. It says Colossal Kaya. That's it. So it's
that's
not part
irritating. Does it have a number on it then?
No, it doesn't. That's the thing.
Huh.
So what my comic book guy said, that this is the issue part of the run. And he said there's no 31 issue. This is 31 issue. 31.
That's weird.
So this is 32. But I think they really did not do really good because of the way they called it. It is a ginormous comic book, right? It has lots of pages and it has lots of... It's like probably almost not double, but 1.5 size of that. So it is big, and and that's why I understand the price, right? $4.99 on this one. Whereas this one is $3.99, but everybody now is $4.99. $4.99 is just absolute madness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fully on board. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really actually quite glad we know the number to, like, it was the same thing when Rick Remender was doing Deadly Class with him. We knew 52. They said this is the end of the storyline, and that's how it went. So that's good. He keeps telling you,
wrong knowing where an end is going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And know that the creators are working towards an end, as opposed to it's all of a sudden going to get canceled. That they're working towards, they have an end of the story in mind, is also amazing to hear.
So when you weren't here, I was talking about, I'm gonna start picking up Wonder Woman floppies.
Oh, right.
I got into the comic book so much that I want them to be part of my... It's really good writing. I don't know. I just enjoy it. But I absolutely tatted my comic book to pieces because I managed to put a lot of coffee on it. So I destroyed it. Like, it's so crispy. It's so crispy. It has damages everywhere.
Yeah,
And then you
right.
realize how shitty the comic books are.
Yeah.
They just completely crumble almost. But
Yeah.
then the paper starts feeling like really crispy, and it like makes lots of noises.
Hmm.
So, and this is the first appearance of Absolute Zatanna in here.
Oh,
That's
way to
why.
go. You screwed it up.
And I
That's
screwed
not
up,
going
yeah.
to be $1 million book now.
Yeah, it's like no, it's not because of that. I'm kind of annoyed by
No, I know.
just by getting with this, starting and it's going to be all crimply. Of course, it's going to be in my collection, but selling that is not going to be part of it for sure.
Yeah.
I also damaged another one which I really liked. I haven't talked about it yet. So now you want to talk? Do you have anything to talk about? Because you're not ready, right?
No, I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm a
Mm.
professional. So I got to give a shout out to Reptile House. So Reptile House is they're the keepers of the anthology Reptile House, and then they also put out Nosebleed and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
On their website. You can make me small for now though.
Oh.
On their website, they when you looked, because I wanted to buy some stuff. I wanted to get the new issue of Nosebleed because now that our local comic shop, Fantasy Club Books, is gone, I'm like, damn, I'm really invested in this story. Issue 3 is out. I want to get my hands on issue 3. And then I saw that I'm behind on the Reptile House anthology. I also saw that they had a risographed 2026 post calendar as well. So I sent him an email because I tried to place an order online and there wasn't an option for shipping to Canada. So I emailed him. I think it's Nicholas Bunch, I think is the guy who runs Reptile House, who's also one of the cartoonists. I emailed him. Yeah, Nick Bunch. I emailed him and just said, hey, I'm just curious. Do you not ship to the Canada anymore because of all the tariffs and all the bullshit? And he said, no, he would. So he found out shipping for me. And with the calendar, it was way too much. So I said, can you let me know how much the shipping would be without the calendar? And I never heard back from him again. So I thought I might have pissed him off by you fucking kidding. This is why we don't want to deal with you. And then all of a sudden, these books showed up in the mailbox. I hadn't paid for them yet. I'm gonna pay for them. I'm gonna send him money for these. But super nice of him. He just sent me the stuff, which is incredibly nice. And so I'll just start off with the one that I was most waiting for.
Okay. Now can I put?
Now you can make me big. It's all about me. This is issue number 3 of Nosebleed.
Yeah.
And I'll just show you. There's the issue 1 and 2 covers there.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
It's such a good book, and this issue is so freaking good. And I think so. This is Derek Jones on art. What I love about Derek's artwork is that there is such fantastic movement, and especially in this issue, there's kind of like this fluidity to all of the characters where you feel on every single page, you can feel the motion. So it's these kids who have been bullied. They find these pills that give them these superpowers. They can make people's heads explode. They can cause things to levitate. One guy has discovered that he can heal people, but this is kind of what happens when they get really angry because they don't have control over it. And of course, these pills are some government testing thing. That's still a sub story. We haven't dug into that yet. So I don't know how much they're going to tell us about that storyline, but this one just keeps like every issue has like ratcheted up the kind of intensity, and this one sticks with it. I love this book. This is such a good comic. And it's thick as shit too. I don't know how many pages it is. It ain't cheap, but honestly, man, it's worth it for the quality. And again, with Reptile House, like it's actual cover stock. It's really solid paper. Like it's produced really well. They don't skimp on the production value, and that's the same with these anthologies as well too. So yeah, there's the pills there. So one of these guys has kind of come back to this guy's house who's been arrested for these murders. Like, look at all this stuff. It's so great. That whole page is just filled with kind of intensity that translates so well. He's got a really good grasp on that, how to kind of push that energy through the page. Like, look at these panels, Cool. Such a good story. I mean, rave reviews about this one. This one is absolutely, and I'm hoping that there's a lot more of these. I'd gladly kind of fork out the money for these, you know, even if I've got I started looking at a post office box in Pembina, which is about an hour and a half from here, just across the border into the United States, about an hour and a half drive. So I started looking into that just for the off chance of maybe I start exploring that and getting stuff to a PO box to save, because the shipping is just getting so crazy, and there's stuff that I want to kind of support. So I'm hoping there's a lot more issues, because I feel like there's a lot of story here to tell. That I'm curious how much he's going to go into. Yeah, I'm curious how much he's going to go into, and I'm curious how far he has this planned. And yeah, and then for the second half, it just gets even more bonkers. And I won't show you too much of that, but because it's pretty big spoilers.
So it doesn't say how many, like, if look forward to a next issue, like it doesn't advertise that?
At the end, what does it say at the end? It doesn't say anything. It just has the last panel, and then it has his signature of 2025. And then he says, thanks for reading bands I listened to while making this book. And he talks about some albums that he was listening to. So it's very much not an ending, that's for sure. Like the way the story is, there's at least one more issue. But as far as I know, he hasn't talked about how many issues there's going to be. I feel like he's also going with a theme with these covers. So there's going to be a point where this decomposing body reaches its final dust stage or whatever. So I guess that's going to signify. So what is that? Another cover, another two covers? I have no idea. So
that's quite a thick book, or is it just because the paper is using?
No, it's a thick book. It's not it ain't flimsy. There's no page count on it, but I mean it's 2 comics for sure. It's probably like a 40 pager ish, you know.
So how many smackaroos do you have to pay for this lovely thing?
There's no price on it. I honestly don't remember on the website. I feel like I don't even know. I have no idea.
No, don't worry. I thought they maybe would be. So we send you what? They send you that and the things you're missing?
For the Reptile House zine itself, it's $7 for the zine itself. So I feel like this is probably around the $10 range. And that would be $10 American. Let's see. Yeah, $10 American is how much it is on their website. And they've got a bunch of stuff too. So this Desert Rats book, Round World Thinking, obviously the anthology. They have another anthology called Cyanide Swamp, Blank Frames, etc. So they've got quite a few things. The Glass Chamber. They've done a lot of work, but the Reptile House anthology is their main one. And that the newest issue is issue number 13, which is this one here. So that's the newest.
Okay. Do you want to show it off?
Oh, did I lose you?
No.
Shit, what happened? Sorry, one sec.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I can hear you just a little bit.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. My system shut down here.
Technical difficulties.
Did you see my butt? Did I have my plumber's crack hanging out?
There.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I can hear you now.
Oh, can I take it out now?
Technical, yeah, you can take it. Nice work.
Can't type.
I mean, I can talk about them now if you want, unless you.
Yeah, go for it. I've been talking, so I need my voice to rest a little bit.
So the Reptile House anthology, I think it's one that I've probably had on a best of the year list at some point. So they're based out of Philadelphia. So this issue is from 2023. Okay. And they're just fun anthologies. I don't know if they're satisfying to me in an artistic endeavor kind of way. There's a lot of stuff in here that it's you could argue that they're not much of stories. There's also parts of this that kind of feel like throwbacks to the underground comic days. I mean, look how good this art is. It's really, really cool. So in this issue, Molly Dwyer. We know Molly Dwyer. Mason Dimebag, Rachel Gauld, Rebecca Kirby, Derek Jones, Mechanical Pencil Girl, etc., are people that are in this one. And just a great cross-section of artists, both male and female, that they have contributing to Reptile House that I'm just really, I don't know, man. They also give you in this issue, they do give you a little bit of a nosebleed story in here as well too. That's
wow.
taken right from the first issue.
Uh-huh.
So you get a little bit of a sample. So if you want to sample the story and sample kind of something that Reptile House has done, issue 12 is probably a good one to pick up. So you can get a little taste of who they are as a company. And I'm always really impressed because there's such a variety. I thought issue number 13 was hilarious. Nick Bunch does one of the first stories here. Yeah, no, the first story, How to Quit Publishing by Nick Bunch, where he basically talks as himself, talking about, fuck you guys, I'm done with this. This is going to be the last issue of Reptile House. And it's legit kind of comical. And then, of course, there's blank pages. And then blank pages. And he's like, well, maybe quite not yet, and he's thinking about hanging himself and it goes wrong. And well, I guess I'll just keep drawing comics is kind of the last panel. So, but it's great. This is Tia Roxay, who is a phenomenal artist. I mean, look at that image of a face underwater. She's really, really great. Let me just confirm that. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder what kind of reference she used. Is she put herself underwater?
Yeah, and took a photo. Yeah, that's Tia. Yeah. So she had one of the books that was hers was that glass. What the heck was it called again? It was her own book. The Glass Chamber was her, and I've shown that one off a long time ago, or a year or two ago when it came out. But I really, really dig her art style quite a bit.
Cool. That looks nice.
And a little bit more abstract storytelling and things, which I always appreciate. So I mean, nothing bad to say about these. Were these the strongest in the anthology so far? I'm not sure that they were the strongest. Number 12 was a little kind of disappointing. It just didn't feel. It felt a little too disjointed, and there was more kind of just art as opposed to stories.
Yeah.
But it's still a really, really good anthology. And again, amazingly produced. These are sturdy covers, sturdy paper, and they look beautiful. And I don't think I'm missing any. I might be missing one issue. I might be missing number 11, but I'm not sure. So anyway, Reptile House from Philadelphia deserves your support if you can afford it.
So I was show you a couple of things. I want you to find a library and read this dude.
Oh yeah,
Matthew Dooley.
Oh, okay.
I remember I was talking to you when I picked up one of his library's books called Flake.
Oh, okay.
It's about an ice cream truck guy who's going in town. So we're following the guy who's lost positions in the council he's working at, and he's all this information he goes into. Really well done, man. So if you're gonna get to see Matthew Dooley's name, please check it out. At least I would like to know what's your opinion, because I thoroughly like this. It's a very heartfelt storyline. His art style is very uncomplicated. I'm gonna make it just. I already spoke about it, but you hear.
So. Oh, you did. Who published this one?
It's a Penguin Random House UK or Jonathan Cape books.
Okay.
That's his art style.
Oh yeah.
It's a story about this guy who's, as I say, working the
little Chris Ware-ish there.
Yeah, lost possession house, and he's explaining how he tags all the items, and then the guy called Toby joins it. It's a teenager who does work experiences, and they kind of get placed together because the dude who was assigned to, he kind of like didn't work anymore in there, so he basically came across him, and they kind of started getting like this relationship, and it's just the story blossoms and it tells you a little bit more background, the characters in this town and stuff like that. Really well told. It's such a relaxing read also, but it's kind of like sad, but with good ending, right? And there's this bird he's keeping. Oh, it's such a wonderful read, honestly. Matthew Dooley does it again. So 2 books. So Flake is the book. And I can't tell you if I can show it to you. Let me try to do scientific stuff. Flake. Matthew. There you go. Come on, Rasa, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You file. No. Oh, there you go. Right, let me share. Where is this page? There you go. Remember this guy?
Oh yeah, I do remember that cover. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so this is the one. Yeah, so second book, fantastic. Honestly, really good writing. It's like you get to know about the town, get to know the people. It's really kind
Mhm.
of like a humanly story, like nothing, like out of like there's no sci-fi stuff. There's just life kind of thing,
Mhm.
And while you were not here, I was talking about what I watched. Yes.
Did you see how shitty that third episode of the new Star Trek was? Did you watch that one? Did you talk about that one?
Yes, and I said I liked it.
Oh,
But
really? The third episode? Yeah, didn't
I
like
am
it at all.
I'm never gonna see bad things about Star Trek. I'm such a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So no matter
We
how much
watched
shit you're gonna talk
we
about.
watched the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved the first one, like loved
Yes.
it. I was
Yes.
so excited. Second one lost us a little bit, but overall really enjoyed it. And
Good.
third one completely lost us to the point of where me and my wife are now 10 episodes into Deep Space Nine. We've now started binging Deep Space Nine because I want to see it again for, I don't know, the third
Oh,
time
dude.
possibly. She's seen it once. She'll remember bits of episodes, but that's been so great to kind of dig in together and watch together. I'm so excited.
So the third episode was about them competing with two groups, like Warplace and
Yeah.
them, right?
And it was in my opinion, I didn't like it very much. Let's just say that. I
Okay.
didn't enjoy it. It didn't feel like Star Trek to me is my criticism.
Watch episode 4 now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because they talk about Klingons.
Okay.
And it's very intriguing what's happening to Klingons and what they are. So I like that one. I agree with number 3. It was like you can forget about it, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
4, it won me again. But I was talking about this one, dude. What a movie, man, dude.
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
It's Brendan Fraser goes to, and acts with Japanese production, right? And he goes in this guy who is like an actor. He done his TV show, like the commercial he got famous by, end up staying in Japan, and it just blossoms Japan to the quirkiness and what they do. And he started to work because he's desperate for work, but then he gets to this company, which is basically renting people out to other people. And he's as an actor pretends to be a boyfriend, a journalist, a father. So fantastic. Honestly, it's a very tame movie, but with such a good emotion, and they have that emotional thing. Doesn't go like that. It makes it really sad, but it's kind of like you feel it, all of it. And Brendan Fraser done spectacular. I don't know how you feel about the character, the guy himself, but
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like him.
I have no strong opinion. He seems fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely love that one. So
Yeah, that's cool.
that was like good feeling after that. It's like, oh, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was watching also that animated series, animated movie, the Willow and the Sleeping Lady.
You were telling me about. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't finished it yet because I stopped it because I was so busy and I wanted to give you kind of need to give attention to it. And it went like I had like 40 minutes left. Now, of course, I was busy again, so I couldn't finish because with all the things had to be done today. For example, I was actually reminding myself today, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to finish this." And then I got completely distracted because I had to cook, and then was making tiramisu at home, and blah blah blah, whatever. Life, right? But it's so quirky and weird, and I still don't understand why they call it about willow. What is that willow tree doing anything in there? Because it's also once again based in Japan. Animated looks animation is kind of like really kind of dreamy state and has sci-fi human touch to it. And that talking frog, it's fascinating because that talking frog is supposed to be some dude's imagination, right? He's talking to this
Okay.
imaginary frog, but what it does to him, it's really cool actually. And there's lots of like they take characters, but they give them kind of like chapters in the movie, and they keep on coming back to them, right? So there's, at the end, I'm really curious to see what's the end of it because everything is disastrous. Like that Japan experiences earthquakes almost every single day, but they're so used to it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was every single day, but yeah, I know they have a number. That's yeah.
So apparently that's what happens. It's like almost like
Right.
tremors are happening almost every day, but they're so used to it that they don't even notice anymore.
Right.
And so those cataclysmic things happens in that movie as well. And I was wondering how it's going to end. And I know it's going to have something, has to happen something like disastrous, but it hasn't. I haven't, as I say, I haven't reached the end to it. So, but yeah, it's kind of fascinating that I just came across on that movie as well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that's
so
cool.
now talking about Star Trek, okay, I have to show it to you. I already spoke about it before you came through. But if you are a fan of your Star Trek Deep Space Nine, right? Yeah.
I sure am, man.
Okay, so Nin, you read this, right? Yep.
Oh yeah.
So Star Trek Lore War, like Lore, the douchebag of Data, brother, supposedly.
Yeah.
So he takes over and decides how it becomes a god. He takes over the whole universe. Cisco is there.
Cool cover.
Worf is there. Cisco is there. What's that? Beverly Crusher is there.
Yeah.
Then you have the chick who died, number one.
Yeah, right.
Taj, right? Taj?
Yeah. I
so
think
she's there. It's really, and I was like reading. Why are you not working now? And I was reading. Honestly, fantastic. Like it gives you all like Easter eggs from Deep Space Nine, because Cisco is main character right in here. Look at him with his full beard and hair. And I didn't know that he can grow it. Apparently he started shaving his hair because of the loss of his wife, and his wife is here present because they basically completely manipulated with the head, and they completely turned them into like plebes, really, like nobody, right? And then this Beverly Crusher in this universe, she just wants to work hard and just live a life. She doesn't know that she had a son who's died and the husband who's died and blah, blah, blah. So this Klingon guy, the Kahless, right? I think you say it Kahless? So he's the guy, where even the Worf was telling us a folk tale. That's how they were kind of like what they are. So he's the main guy who was basically became Klingons to what they were, right? So he comes gets his, what is it, that sword thing, and it just touches it, and he sees his whatever he was actually what's really his future is like, or his actual reality is like. Really good, man. So many Easter eggs. Of course, Cisco is main guy in here. He's the one who has that power, yes, that godlike thing where he can come jump to being existent and non-existent. And the way it ended was really nice because his son, he's a journalist, and it kind of gave you a little bit more information on what happened to him later on. Really good, honestly. Like Deep Space Nine, really good read. So yeah, if you somehow can read it and get hold of this stuff, and even the Worf's son is here, all grown up. So it's really good.
Yeah, cool.
It has so much, and also fantastic part of it, which I was mentioning beforehand, is that where is it? That's how his temple is built for Lore. In Lore's I'm like proper god, right? But the Vulcan became do you see what the Vulcan became? What?
Borg.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's another kind of information. I was like, what?
I was going to say a Guardian of the Galaxy, but yeah, Borg.
Yeah, Borg. So
crazy.
Yeah, really good read. Honestly, if that would be a Star Trek episode, I would watch it straight away.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
I think that's the thing that's been interesting about, because me and my wife were talking about like the quality of writing just in the Deep Space Nine episodes and in science fiction of that era. And we were talking about like the dumbing down of people and things. And but it's also, we were also talking about like Star Wars versus Star Trek, and how like for me, Star Trek is like the Superman of the TV world, and the Star Wars is kind of like the Batman, you know what I mean? Where it's like Star Wars is about struggle and rebellion and overthrowing the government and things, and the Star Trek is about like, we all get along, everything is positive, We're going exploring because we've all decided that we have the common goal. And I fucking love that. Like, and to me, that's a core tenet of the Star Trek kind of lore, where that's why that episode 3 of the new one just didn't do anything, because it just didn't have any of that in it. And it just seemed like the way it was edited, the way the characters were being presented. Like, I understand that they're coming through the ranks. Like, I get it that this is supposed to be their journey towards that kind of better. Like, I totally understand that premise. It's just I'm not, if I'm watching Star Trek, I'm not interested in necessarily always that struggle. I'm interested in the thing that brings me to it is this, we have this little more of a utopian society, and now let's explore what that would look like. Like, it feels like instead of striving for the goal has been achieved, and now what do we envision past that? And that's what I think is so good in it. And I relate it to like Superman and Batman, because that there's that idea of Superman is already this good person, so let's explore kind of these positive aspects as opposed to the darkness of Batman, which I love the dark stuff, don't get me wrong, but yeah, so it's just been really rewarding to sit and watch it with my wife. It's been really nice. We don't watch TV together anymore because there's nothing I really watch in general. And the stuff that they watch, I'm just not really interested in. So it's also been nice to kind of sit together. She loves it. She's really excited about it. We have a show to watch together. Should we watch Deep Space Nine tonight? And then we end up watching 2 or 3 episodes, so but it's just so great to kind of revisit and watch again. So yeah.
Me and my husband love Star Trek, so we like anything new, and we don't. I mean, granted, when we watched that episode, he was also kind of like, hey, like it wasn't like moving us. But this Klingon part, I had a little bit problem because it didn't feel like the pata, like then the way they say it.
Yeah.
But it's just because it's the way what's happening to that race in generally. But it would be interesting to see if you have any opinions about it. But I know there's lots of people.
Maybe I'll give it a try then, because after that 3rd episode, I basically turned to my wife and daughter and said, "Fuck this show! I ain't watching this again." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll watch it by ourselves." So
maybe you should.
Maybe I'll give it one more chance. I'll give it one more shot.
Yeah, but maybe you'll tell me off like, what the hell did you say that for me? So I don't want to make it like really bad for you. But
yeah.
I am, as I say, I don't find, even though there wasn't amazing that episode, I'm such a fan of it. I just don't find it too problematic. It's just so comforting for me. It's the comfort levels, I think, on Star Trek. I have really problem with the camera angles and that bloody light behind them, and it always shines into your bloody eyeballs, and you're like, what the hell? Why? I just want
the flares and stuff. Right?
But it was fascinating. The doctor and all those characters are just getting there. Like they didn't just need to give them a chance to be what they are. And they're going through the stories like that. I think that episode 4 was probably warm, like more into unraveling consequences, because that's basically, this show is basically pulling everything what has been done, right, and smashing it in one. And because they're going to learn the history of the whole thing, right, before you become like a proper full-blown whatever member of Starfleet, right? So I think a lot of people have problems, and I think they're trying to make it more relatable to younger generation. Don't forget
100%.
All those.
And I mean, I'm just a crusty old man that goes, fuck the new generation. Just make a goddamn good Star Trek show. Like, as if you're not going to get people. And again, like I said, I realize what they're doing and their angle. I'm just not interested in that type of story in the Star Trek universe. So, but like I said, that first episode, loved it. Like, I was so excited. I'm like, holy sh! And even Alicia's like, your dad, look at your dad's face. He loves this. I'm like, yes, this is great. That first episode was so good.
Really, it was, though. They really got it spot on. It's exactly what Star Trek is all about, with the bad guy. And that bad guy actor, wherever, I never remember names, right? But he was fantastic. I mean, the way he's like, like trying to win and take that things out of the like what you usually seen in episodes of Star Trek. So yeah, that's great. And the mystery about that young kid who is basically forced into becoming part of the Star Trek because his mom is the bad guy, right? She's been convicted. So that's intriguing enough to understand where that kind of story goes. So, but yeah, I liked it. As I say, I liked that episode after that. So yeah, about the Klingons and stuff like that. Right. I have a couple of more comic books to talk about.
Sure, yeah.
Do you want to start?
I have a couple more as well too. Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Sure. I'll do these two are short ones to talk about.
Short ones? How short?
So one of the other things I got was Harry Nordlinger from Vacuum Decay. He is a projectionist at I guess the Balboa Theater. So he's a projectionist and he does posters for the shows that are coming there. So he put out a collection of posters that he's drawn, which is so awesome. Skinamarink, Canadian movie, well worth watching. It's freaking amazing.
Scary.
So this is a little zine. It's a horror movie. Yeah, I don't know if it's scary. It's unsettling.
Oh, that's not good for me, man. I'm chicken shit when it comes to that kind of stuff.
The thing is, it's subtle. There's no like jump scares. There's no gore. There's no violence. It's just implied, and it just really, it's an unusual movie. I remember I reached out to the director, and I had a brief chat with him on social media, about some things, and it's just so incredible. I ended up buying the VHS. They did a limited release on VHS. And I bought it for my son, so he's got it up his room. We still haven't watched the VHS copy, so nothing to talk about this one. It's just a collection of posters. I bought 2 copies because I figured this is the kind of thing, like, I put together 2 magazine short boxes so far of comics and magazines, like either doubles or things that I want to sell. So I think I want to start doing mini conventions again. So I want to have some more unique things in there as well too. So I figured I'd get a second. Oh, and then TMNT Journeys number 5 has come out. And again, it's here because there's not much to talk about, but let's just bask in the glory of that first page. Look at the amount of work with tones and everything that's in this. This is so good. They have these symbols. So basically these, I always forget the goddamn name of them. Not Ultrons, Alroms, or Alrom, or whatever the heck the little brain-looking aliens are called. I can never remember their names.
Yeah,
they've come to Earth. Utrons, I think, is what it is, isn't it? Utrons. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. It turns out that this big robot was Fugitoid, who, if you know the original series, Fugitoid was a character in there. This robot. So the Utrons are now basically on Earth, and they have they're set up, and they're kind of getting incorporated with. Thank you very much. They're getting incorporated with society, and they're going to stay for a year. And if they get accepted by humanity, they'll stay, and they can take us on these journeys. Like we were just talking about Star Trek, almost like a Star Trek thing. Like, we're part of this intergalactic kind of world, and we want to bring you along with us if you humans are ready, kind of thing. Yeah. So we end up kind of jumping 6 months into the future, and they're going to visit them. They're going to go and sit with them. The turtles are, and part of it is, let me just get to the page here. Part of it is in order to kind of, the turtles are now walking around on the streets. They're not disguising themselves. So they have these little symbols on themselves because everybody just feels that, well, you're just some friends of those Utrons. You're just more aliens. So in order to kind of help identify them to the aliens, they put these little symbols on their chests because they're not allowed to bring weapons into this facility. And it ends with April O'Neil going through the scanner and, halt, you're carrying some sort of weapon, and that's kind of where the issue leaves off. Don't have much else to say because I say the same thing every time. This is fucking good. And if you're not reading it, it's really good, and you should read it. So that's kind of the brief on those two.
Well, I was looking to see how much is online, how much is Journey 1. First of all, it's barely possible to buy one. And second of all, if there is for sale, it's £20. I was like, what the hell?
For number 1.
It's too much for issue.
I'm sure they'll do. I'm sure they're going to do collections. Yeah. IDW does all these collections of all the turtle stuff. I'm sure they'll do some sort of deluxe hardcover as well too. And...
But talking about turtles, so I finally read issue number 14. You said you liked that, didn't you?
I did not read number 14 yet. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. But talk about it. because
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't totally sold on 13, to be honest.
Oh,
So
well,
how
maybe
is 14?
I liked it. It's exactly
Yeah.
what the turtle book is all about. It's good. It has all the. And now I'm actually warming up to the art. I want to show it to you. Like, well, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
spoil
there
the
you
heck
go.
out of it, but it's the art I'm warming up to. This dude who was killing in the first issue. He's in the
Uh,
court. They decided he's an innocent guy, and then of course that Ujigami guy, who you know it is, which you seen
yep.
read issue 13.
Yep.
It's Mr. Rat. Let's put it
Hmm.
behind this in disguise. And the way this one is saying, while they fighting this dude, they trying to put themselves in the different locations where the bad guys is, and because they're trying to protect them from this guy, and they keep on finding in the wrong place and time. And he was like, oh my god, that Donatello is like telling, okay, I'm finally gonna fight you, but there's this honor, and our fathers keep teaching us about that honor, and if they don't realize that the actual father is doing that
Hilarious.
dishonorable things by killing the bad guys. Like
Right.
the April is sitting in the hospital because Stockdale has been attacked by him, and now he's like in the like medical induced coma or some stuff like that. And then they come and meet up again and saying that this is not working. Like we need to kind of find solution how to defeat it, because every single time we try to protect people, we kind of we're supposed to be there for them. They can't do it because it seems to be that the guy is knowing all the moves before they actually move it, so he has always have an upper hand somehow, and they don't understand, or they're looking for solution how to do so. And that's exactly what turtles are, right?
Uh-huh.
April is giving them some ideas, know what to do, and then of course our Splinter is there, and he's having this spiritual conversation with that wife and saying, we're about to be there, meeting up again together once again. Like that the what they always gives you as a hope. And of course, this Oroku, what's her name again? The daughter, no, the granddaughter of a Shredder, right? She's in charge of Foot Clan, and they come to basically protect her or tell her that she's gonna be in trouble. And she's like,
Hmm.
I'm not listening to this bullshit. I can protect myself. I have Foot Clan behind me. I have all these problems. And then of course Bebop and Rocksteady comes into play, and they have that conversation, like a typical conversation they do, like, oh, you toilet dweebs, like kind of thing. We come from sewers. So what are you doing in here? Just if she asks you to leave, you should go now. And they have this huge fight. And there's this in IDW Run. They are the ones who basically cracked a shell of one of our characters, right? Our turtles. That's how we have a new female turtle, because of what happened to him, where he
Hmm.
had to be in a different body before they actually managed to save him. And he was actually, you mentioned Fugitoid. So in IDW Run, they used Fugitoid as a place where he could keep his ability to survive. So he took
Okay.
over the Fugitoid as a shell kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they are the ones who basically cracked the shell, and he wasn't proper. They like everybody was speculating when that run was coming out. Everybody was saying, "Oh my god, the turtle's finally gonna die. Is it that's gonna happen? One of the brothers is dying now." But of
Yeah.
course, they didn't. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and there's this female cat, Shinigami. I'm not sure if I've ever seen her. So there's this cat appears in the comic book. I'm not showing exactly full, like I tried to not. But she's ever present, like what's going on with this observing creature. And
Hmm.
there's this cat following, and apparently it's
Oh,
a
okay.
female in disguise, of course, because that's what the
Oh.
universe of this. It's really much like a turtle, like book. Again, it feels like
Hmm.
more like you have to having to deal with situations where basically you've been placed into, finding solutions how to deal with that, and encompassing everything, and every single character is involved, right? And that's what makes Turtle really good for me. I always like that they never were afraid to have a lot of characters, like, and IDW Run, they just kept putting out more and more new turtles, right?
Yeah.
There's that female character who she's supposed to be back, right? Hopefully, or maybe she will be, because they kind of mentioned it at the back pages. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but they saying that it's so great to see you, blah blah blah, and like it's wonderful to be doing this comic book and blah blah blah, like editorial notes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people saying that this run, honestly, that night watch run I told you about, which I really liked, about that female Jessica, right? Is her name? Oh my god, I don't know.
Yep.
So
the one that got canceled, right?
yeah, such a shit thing that they were doing, but I guess it wasn't selling, I presume.
Yeah, that's too bad, man.
Yeah, I really like that character. I mean, I hope she's still.
Are you still on the Battle Nexus? Have you been still following that?
No, I read it and I was like, I can wait if I'm gonna get hold of it, like the whole chunk, and read after. I really am not. I never am invested in those offshoots. I just go with the main run, and I know I miss a lot, kind of like this lore wars. They were, of course, it's a event book for the Star Trek, and they had like 3 books containing the story in that one trade, which I was reading digitally. And there's a lot of book, like it's kind of enhanced the whole story. You see like a bigger picture, right? So for me, sometimes it's a bit of a hit and miss, because if I would be picking those collected editions, they have that many of them, I guess I would have more of the bigger picture going on with the story. But like those journeys, I was like, wow, that because I was reading this Turtles, then I looked you picking up that issue number 3 of Turtle, black and white, and I was looking at the black and white art of Turtles. Like the journeys, like that seems to be something that would be very good to read. But as I said,
it's so good. Yeah,
I was looking to see if there's a copy decent in like amount to spend. But Jesus, I'm never going to pay £20 for issue 1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just not worth it.
No.
Yeah. What are you crunching?
Sorry?
What you were eating? You look very
Slurpee.
Huh?
A Slurpee.
A Slurpee? What is a Slurpee?
I usually drink it with a straw. We got a Slurpee machine.
Oh.
You put pop in it and it churns it and it makes it into a So like a 7-Eleven Slurpee. My mom got us one for the house. You can also make ice cream in it and milkshakes and stuff like that. So
very fancy.
So my daughter made some Slurpees and she brought me down one. And it even comes with these nice thermos kind of mugs as well too. So
you're so fancy, huh?
I know. Fancy. I mean, it was a nice Christmas. It was a very nice Christmas present. My mom usually every Christmas, my family, or mostly my mom, they buy us one kind of bigger gift that's meant for kind of the whole family. That's meant for all of us. Sometimes that's a board game. This time it happened to be this. Sometimes it's, whatever it is, something where we can go and do an event together or something. Like they always give us one gift that's intended for all of us, which is always really nice. But this one was a genuine surprise because it's freaking gigantic. So this one, we didn't know that it was coming. We had no idea. Usually we have a little bit of a sense of it, but this one was a surprise to all of us. So super cool. Good old Christmas.
So now do you actually use it, or is it?
I mean, we use it a lot. Yeah. We use it a lot. Yeah. Like I made a milkshake in it. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, because I was just in the mood for a milkshake. So I thought I'd give it a try.
Does it make a good milkshake?
Sorry?
Does it make a good one?
I mean, I thought it was freaking delicious. Yeah, because then you can, you use, you go milk and, anyway, it was delicious. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
Because I always find it very difficult to make my own milkshake.
Then you end up making things too much. That's the problem, right? It's like, so when I say we've been making Slurpees. Is it the best thing for us to have in this house? Probably not. But I think we're still in the honeymoon phase where we're pretty excited about it.
That's cool. Okay, you're showing off something. Go on.
So the last thing that I'm excited to be digging into is your friend and mine, Sanctuary. This is book number 3, and I've read the first 4 issues. And it's so good. The biggest thing for me is I love comic book. Yeah, that does rule. 420. Hello. Yeah, I'm already getting pretty fat. So I mean, it's all that's the downside of like having a Slurpee machine. The thing I love about So first of all, they do a great job this volume to give you like, where are we now? What's been happening so far? Let's do a nice recap. And they do that for the first, I think, 2 issues. And then I
Nice.
think for the first 3 issues, they do here's a
cool.
reminder of who all the characters are. So I'm guessing when this was originally published, there was probably a pretty big gap between book 2 and book 3.
Yeah.
So this is one of our main characters named Hojo. He's the guy. So the 2 main characters are Hojo, who's here, and then this guy who is Asami. So Asami, these 2 are working together to kind of change the face of Japan. He's doing it from the Yakuza side, and he's doing it from the politics side. And the reason why I say, oh yeah, maybe okay for eBay, yeah.
Oh.
The reason why I say I love comic book politics is because things just get decided pretty easily, and you can live vicariously through comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So they're starting to make their big moves. At the end of book 2, Hojo got shot by a gangster from a Chinese clan who's looking to kind of come into Japan and take over the territories. And he survived, but he's in a coma, so it's kind of dicey as to, is he going to make it? Is he not, kind of thing. So during this time, Asami is kind of putting into play his part of the, fuck this, we're going to start taking over the political party here, and we're going to set some things in motion. And what they look to do, and this is where it becomes personal to me, is they're looking to engage with people who aren't into politics, just like I tried to when we ran, and we ended up having a 77% voter turnout, which is an unbelievable number. And I'm just looking for the page. One sec here. Maybe it's in book 2. So what they're going to do is, and I don't know a ton about Japanese politics, especially of this time, but I don't know how true to life this is, but apparently they look to make a constitutional change. And that is going to be the way that they engage with the people. There it is. We're going to amend the Constitution, is what he ends up saying. And just as a quick aside, the artwork in this is beautiful. It's always really, really great. I love the way they show kind of the main old leader, which I'll show you in a second. He's always got this really stern look on his face, and he's always amazingly drawn. So there's huge political moves being made. They've uncovered some misdealings done by our kind of head politician, like the main villain in it, that he's implemented in this land grab and money grab, that he's been kind of stealing money, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just filled with drama. It's filled with kind of espionage. It's filled with gangsters that are going around shooting each other and fighting for territory. But it's this idea of the politicians and these Yakuza that are starting to kind of come more together, because they were already working together unbeknownst to each other, but now those 2 factions are starting to come together even more so. So this, and I also love that idea, because I've said that about our union as well. Like, we need to go back a little bit to the days where we have some fucking criminal elements within our local, so we can deal with the politics, but we'll also slash your fucking tires if you go work on non-union stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I should be careful. This is all online. Not really saying that we should do that for anybody that's using this, but it is something that we've kind of joked about. This idea of, yes, there's room for politics, but maybe there's a little bit of room for, like, you've got to kind of fight for things. So I love that side of the story, because that's the part where I can kind of forget about what's going on in the world, where I potentially don't see any change happening. And I can go to these comics and have simple answers, and things will work out in some way. But it's such engaging storytelling. I'm just about to dig into issue number 5.
Wait.
I think there's 8 issues within this, within this 3rd volume. So I'll probably end up finishing reading those tonight, I imagine, because I love that book so much. I don't know how easy it is to get your hands on it. But if you see it by some strange chance, I know that they did trade paperbacks at that time too. If for some chance you see it, I wouldn't hesitate to give it a read.
I've been looking, honestly, but since you, because that basically, so it's a story with Yakuza, yes? So yeah, like shifting of powers, right? And they fighting between houses, right?
Basically, yeah, but they're also looking to kind of, the beauty about it is that yes, there's this infighting within the politic world and the Yakuza world, but actually each of the factions that we're following are looking to kind of bring people together. They're not looking to like dominate and take over. There's an aspect of that, but they're also looking to like, we're going to change the whole face of this. So that's why they kind of pair it with like the changing the face of Japan in general. This idea that Japan needs a change. We've had this sort of, we've been going this direction for the long time. We need to kind of change the whole face of the country. You know what I mean? So, and they just do that in these kind of smaller ways. Sorry, I've got to answer this phone call.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
No worries. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm alone again. I always puts me on those comic books with manga. So inspired. He always talks about so highly about them. So I always look for it to see if I can get hold of them. But they're so obscure. It's not so easy to get hold of it. My last book, which I have to talk about, and also made it great damage to it, is another book which got absolutely whoop-loose because I spilled the coffee on my two comic books. The two comic books I actually really liked, which was this, the Wonder Woman, and this. This is so strong now. It becomes fantastic. This is a second, basically, volume will be of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, the Rite of Spring. And it's culminating to a halt, to a really interesting conclusion. Of course, our beloved bear, who is absolutely psychotic to no end, getting to a point where she's going to be, oh my god, my comic is absolutely tangled. Oh, I can't even open it up. Oh, come on, I want to show you. Well, some of the pages. Oh, Jesus, damage. There's never damage your comic books. It's such a shame. I'm so upset with myself. So she is taking that sister to find the remains of her brother, pictured in here. And she's not really afraid to show exactly where it is. I guess she has a plan how to, accuse this sister of killing her own brother. And they keep on digging for and looking for the metal detector of those cans, and are doing splendid job. She cannot believe her luck. Everything seems to be coming. She's finally finding the answers. There's also problems with one of the killed person's wife. She's struggling to survive, to be present, to do anything for herself. She's driving in his car because she's been awakened by her son telling her to leave home because the job, otherwise you're going to lose it. So she's trying to go in there, and she's causing quite a bit of a stir in the sleepy town they are in. And oh my god, can I open this page? Yuck, 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 yuck. And then to the surprise for all of them, there is this new great highway because it's based in the 80s. So lots of things are kind of like expanding from so small villages, getting these highways where nobody kind of wants to have because they want to continue having the sleepy town. And the crew of workers are in the same place where they basically digging the bodies out, because this place where she's kept those bodies in is kind of secluded. And of course, there is a lot of actions happening. He gets in the way. He gets absolutely plummeted with the car because the sister finally, she says, it's over, you psycho bitch. You put all of them here with a Nigel, didn't you? And then you just toyed with me. So she's finally well aware of what the psychopath is all about. The way she's gonna go with it and how she's not afraid, because I think the lady is trying to go out with the bang. What a comic. really spectacular. It's so weird still to this day to me seeing this book and trying to open the page. We shall glue together. Lovely. Damage. It's because of the art style. It's just so kind of weird reading a psychopathic comic book, but having such a idyllic, childlike pages, panels. Still, I can't grasp that kind of idea, but I cannot stop looking at it and read. I picked it up first of all. I have never, I haven't read it from the first volume. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to kind of heat it up. Can't open the pages. Some more pages does not open. The damage is so bad. I haven't read the first. I read first volume in collected. I bought it up, the trade paperback, and never looked back. And I wanted to continue doing that in single format. But yeah, so far what I've read is gonna continue. I think it's gonna be end of the story by the issue 6, I presume. I've don't want to show you the cover, next cover, because it kind of spoils the heck out of it. There's extra story here, but doesn't say to me. There's no extra information in the back of this book to tell me exactly if it's gonna have and how many. Just like IW does with all this ads in the back. It just promotes other ones and horror books like 30 Days of Night. I actually have that in. I'm afraid of horror books, but somehow, oh yeah, I've been giving that away. That looks very colorful. So Lisa, Cheese, and Ghost Guitar. Anyway, highly recommend it. I'm going out of it, but highly recommend this to read to anybody. Go for volume 1, read it up, see if it's your cup of tea. But this whole Howarth guy is really doing his Patrick Howarth. He's really cool. So it's his baby and got popular. Apparently, if you guys were aware, DC is doing that KO series event. And Beneath the Trees character going to be there. What I think is it out already, or is it going to come out? But apparently she's going to have the KO moment, because I saw the cover. I don't know if she's going to be. It's just because they're going to be in the cover, or is it just actually going to be scenes in there? I would be probably going to be on the lookout to see if one of you having maybe that book on the pull list and talk about it, because it will be interesting to see how that's going to look like. And is he going to actually write it or not? I've been 420. I was looking to see on eBay. It's still the only couple of the UK based locations, Journey's books, and they were still very pricey because they sell those foil covers. The turtles have like 105 covers, like this, for example. Issue of Turtles have 7 covers just for one issue. So Journey seems to be doing the same thing. So special foil covers for £20, issue 1. Other ones like issue 2 is normal price, but specifically issue 1 is. It's always like that. Like if you miss it and you want to get hold of it, it's very difficult. Like a lot of the books these days, if you trying to buy them in floppies, and it's kind of disheartening sometimes. You cannot just take a break. If you're gonna commit now, even though you're not sure if you're gonna like that commitment, you want to wait until somebody comes in the reviews, like it used to be when I started it a long time now, more than a decade ago. I started reading the comic books, and that was the good thing. Even though in that time also, when the New 52 started, I remember clearly the big thing about Batman, and of course, once again, Scott Snyder was doing. So what he's done now to Absolute Batman, it's almost the same. Like people are really loving the book. Another thing, what I really fascinated about that is that Absolute Wonder Woman has I think I'd put TMNT Journeys only. I didn't put the whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into this. Such a mouthful. But yeah, I will have a look. Maybe I'll be successful, but I'm not really kind of like. I would love to read it because I'm such a Turtles fan. So, if I'm probably gonna look at when they're gonna release, maybe collected in the graphic novel, I'll probably pick it up. So yeah, hopefully that will be. And Comic Crack is still on the phone. And I'm feeling a bit left again. I started like that. Am I going to end like this? How long will I have to wait? Because he's on the phone. Do you know? Anyway. Oh yeah. So Wonder Woman and Batman is teaming up. I think I saw a cover. Wasn't it the cover? Did I see? Let me have a cracker. I think so. Oh yeah. There you go. I'm gonna share. There you go. That's the one. Oh, you back.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah.
Call that I had to do. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Well, you leave me alone. I finished my last book to speak about, so I'm looking what to speak about.
Oh, okay.
So Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman gonna team up in this issue. And apparently,
I saw that cover recently.
Yeah, and apparently Batman is going to hell where his Wonder Woman is, right? Because his buddy, the Croc guy, you see it's very different design. Do you see the guy on the back?
Mm-hmm.
So he is the how you call it? How you call that? Killer Croc, right? Killer Croc, right? So yeah, so because I don't know if you're aware, they in this absolute universe, Batman is all buddies with all the bad guys. They grew up together like as children. So he's really good friends with all of them. They still meet up together, play some cards and stuff like that. So apparently, I don't know what happens in the Absolute Batman, but somehow the Killer Croc ends up in hell, and I guess Batman taking Wonder Woman because that's where she's from. Absolute Wonder Woman is being brought up in there. So basically, she taking him because she's all a magic now. She can open everything, right? So I guess they're going in there together. At least that's what synopsis I think I've read. But I like the cover. Honestly, the cover is nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the hype is real because apparently I talked to my comic book guy. So how are you doing with your Absolute Batman? It's like, it's coming out like quick. I can't even put it on the display, and it gets sold. Now, it doesn't matter what issue it is. He said that's what really keeping things afloat for him like really well, because he said the one thing I don't have to guess about is that book, because no matter how many times I buy it, it seems to be everything. Because I asked him,
you just can't predict this shit. Hey, it comes out of nowhere. A book just
and he said that to me. It's very frustrating, also, right? Because I said he sent me this issue 12 of Wonder Woman, and I was like, okay. I said, do you have it like that? Because I was thinking, Zatanna was advertised coming out in this title, and she was on the front cover. That's why I thought that's how she's going to appear for the first time. But no, she's appearing way beforehand. And he sends me this book, and I called him like, why did you send me this book? I thought she's going to be like way later coming out, right? He's like, no. Have you read it? I was like, well, I didn't have a chance to read it. Well, there you go. You'll see where she's appearing. So it's her hot. Wait, do I have that? Do I have that? Hot news. First appearance, man.
So first appearance, and you spilled coffee on it.
Yeah, and I spilled a shitload of coffee on it. So the book I was talking to you while you were on the phone is this one, and I spilled the heck out of it also.
Oh boy.
I can't even open a couple of pages. That's even worse than the other one.
Oh no.
This book it's getting so good to read. It's really good. It's one of my favorite reads I did for this part. It's like it was like teetering away, but it's like going with the bang, like, because there's one more issue. I think it's going 6 issues, I presume. Because that's how much the first volume was, first 6 issues. Anyway, so so Absolute Wonder Woman. He said, are you sure you're gonna? So he has Absolute Wonder Woman, But Batman, I said, so what about Batman? Because I was just like, to see what's happening. He's like, nope, no Batman. It's like I can't keep it on the shelves. He usually keeps some extra stock, usually, because that's how good it is. Sometimes he keeps extras just to see if we, the regulars, want it, right? He
Yeah.
said I couldn't because the people were just asking and asking and asking. It's like, so I just start selling them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to sell it.
About, I don't know how long is, like, he said to me like 2 or 4 before everything, like that Absolute Batman #1 came out. He said he sold it for £40 in his shop. He said I couldn't. I mean, it's so expensive everywhere else. I just sold to somebody who was desperate enough. So I said I needed to make some cash.
Yeah.
So he did it, and if people
Cash
willing
in while you can, man.
Yeah, but if you're willing to spend the money, then why not sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are willing. Apparently, somebody bought it for 100 something pounds. That issue.
Wow.
Absolute Batman 1.
Wow.
So it's very hot. I mean, it's well written. I think this is better written than the Absolute Batman, but I'm biased maybe because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm Batman. I mean, I like Batman stories, but Jesus Christ, it's Batman everywhere, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's tough with modern books because there's this artificial inflation, right? How much longevity does that price have for that first book? I mean, I spent what I spent on that Ninja Turtles book, but I don't foresee, obviously anything can happen. I don't foresee that crashing in like a 2 days time, where something like Absolute Batman #1, I could see that crashing tomorrow and it'd be worth 50 cents. You know what I mean? Like there's no real longevity. It's this little tiny bubble of an explosion. And I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it just goes up in value and it becomes this hottest book that's ever, been or whatever. But I just highly doubt it.
The New 52 Batman, it had the same amount of hype everywhere. And it had kept being hyped for a long time. I think it's after the end of the run, it still was kept the hype and used to be going for like 50, 60 pounds. To this day, they're still asking 30 pounds. So they're still keeping some sort of value to it, but not as what you like, not 100 pounds, right? But because it's so popular and everybody's talking about it and everybody's speculating, of course, it does help. Now the speculations because of the like Lobo, Lobo is going to appear in Supergirls, right? So the Lobo's first appearance is skyrocketing now because of the movie hype, right? And also because of Supergirls, that you said you read it, that Tom King Supergirl with Bill Quist, the artist. What's that? Strange New Worlds or whatever. I don't know what he called it.
Yeah, whatever it was called, the Supergirl thing. Woman of Tomorrow, I think. Woman of Tomorrow.
So the 6-issue run, somebody's asking like 200 pounds for now because of that trailers and the the movie is going to come out and stuff like that. So it also helps, right? So because it's so recent, right? Because they say they're basing the story on that book. So it's very recently just come out. So
sure, but again, that's the same thing though, right? Like you'll see a spike and then it'll drop. Like I mean, the shit that I had, like the Thor book that I had graded and sold. Thank God I sold it when I did, because I think literally a month later it wasn't worth shit. Because then the movie came out and it wasn't worth shit, right? So
the thing is also that it's villains' first appearance, not superheroes. Because
totally, but I'm saying, like, I think a lot of that world though, that the movie hype train dies pretty fast. From the little bit that I know about that kind of speculator world when I've watched some of those shows in the past, like that was the whole thing. Like when I had those books slabbed and when I was looking to do it, I paid extra attention to those shows because, as ETA Nick used to say, same thing. He's like, you gotta hit that window. Because I remember asking him what his opinion was on some of these books. He's like, Terrence, first trailer comes out, you sell that goddamn book. Like you look to sell it because it depends. Because then all of a sudden the movie's out and it's not worth anything. You've got to be ready. And he was right. He was 100% right. And I could see it on some of these shows. This hype. Get rid of that shit. Fucking dump it as fast as you can. Get the money. And then you watch it crash. It's like, thank God, because the few books that I had sold, I did really good on each one of them. And it was worth the investment. Would I want to play that game all the time? God, no, because it was really draining because I felt like I had to really pay attention and keep
Yeah.
my eye on that stuff. And I was only dealing with like, I don't know, a half a dozen slab books, whatever I had, you know, never mind. Like, you know, you go see some of these vendors, they got a wall of slab books. It's like, dude, how are you keeping track of that? How do you know that the ship hasn't sailed on all of these? You know, that's a lot to pay attention to.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the thing of the, but only that, like, but honestly, so I was looking the books of, like, because I started collecting like about what 12 years ago now, right? Quite a long time now. So 12 years ago, all of those books which I was picking, and they were 50p. Now they're not 50p, nor you can find, I mean, you can find them if you're lucky enough. I mean, of course, you have to be like in the big locations where everything is comics, and or you probably can find it. But lots of books which I bought them for like £1 or like for $2.50, let's say, they're like 15 now, and you're like, what the, you know? But I'm talking about like 80s, almost to the night, like those kind of like, you know, the Bronze Age books now are pricey. Silver Age books are very pricey. I'm not even talking about the Golden Age books, right? So those kind of books are still like keeps, and I was like, my God. So you know that Batman 400 and something 23, the first McFarlane art of cover, that is, I bought that for 50p, right? And that book is going absolutely bananas now. I don't know why, and nobody knows, because it's only cover, right?
Yeah, right.
There's no art of McFarlane's inside, and it's going after crazy stuff.
And this is a good one. 420 says that there's one of the channels, like, I don't know the full story. There's one of the channels that I was watching. All of a sudden, that channel was gone. And then I was, you know, because again, I was in that world a little bit, and there was infighting going on, and there was exactly that kind of thing, that it was these speculators that were inflating those numbers just in their world, when it wasn't a representation of what was actually going on in there, right? So that's also a part of that whole shyster fucking, you know, these guys who are hustling, that hustle culture nonsense that just makes me sick to my stomach, right? Like, it's those kind of guys playing those kind of games and artificially inflating the cost of these books and getting their audience, their fan base or viewers bought into that hype. So then you're buying it right from them, and they're generating it themselves. It's not actually based on anything, right? So yeah, so it's a whole sketchy part of the hobby, that's for sure.
So that Batman I'm talking about, £200, somebody's asking. 423, 9.3, first print. I didn't even know there was 3 prints of that. Apparently there's 3 prints of that comic book. It's like, I didn't know that. I did not even came across, because I knew there's direct edition with the bar right in the corner, and then you have a picture. So usually it's called like a retailer, not retailer, but retailers, the comic book stores would sell that, but your those 7 whatever 11s you used to sell.
Yeah, the newsstand, and then the direct edition.
So that's why I thought they, but apparently
and yada.
And then that comic book apparently has several prints. I was like, what the hell? I didn't even know that in that time. But then maybe that's when it started, all this hype. But yeah, it's funny how that McFarlane stuff just goes absolutely crazy, isn't it? It's actually,
I mean, I've got the McFarlane, the Coyote book, where it's his first ever art that I got on one of the Winnipeg comic book groups. Yeah, and I don't know if that book is worth anything. I just remember a lot of guys were pissed off that I got it for the price that I did. Maybe not a lot. Maybe I'm overemphasizing it. There was some people that were pissed off because I'm not a big fan of McFarlane, and I never really kept that a secret. But I was trying to collect the Coyote series, and this came up for a good price, and I bought it because it was a double dip of like, I kind of want to read the series because I'm collecting the issues, and this isn't a bad one to get. This is a good price for it, because if I don't like the series, chances are this is the one valuable book in that whole run, you know. So
exactly. He's, you know, that his DC contract for toys is finished.
Oh yeah,
it's ending this year, I think. And what is it, Mattel or Hasbro is taking over? The same, those big chained action figures where you have like melted, like it doesn't look like actual human being.
Yeah, right.
The figures, you know. Because he's basically great. I mean, when it comes to the faces, the guy knows what he does, right?
He changed the toy market. Todd McFarlane is a smart businessman, whether you like him or not. You
Yeah.
cannot deny that he changed the face of a lot of things. He changed the face of mid-grade and above 100 USD. Oh, for Coyote. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I could use some money. Maybe I start thinking about selling that sucker. Although, no, I'm not going to start selling it. 420. I've got 2 magazine short boxes of stuff so far of things to sell. So keep in touch with me about mini conventions around town. And I think I'm getting closer to wanting to go to a convention and start selling again, but we'll see.
Okay.
What was I saying? Nothing important, clearly.
No, we talked about McFarlane.
Oh, the toy, yeah, Todd McFarlane, and changing the face of the toy industry, changing, you know, like how we see independent comics and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like the guy has had an impact on a whole wide range.
The Zatanna's action figure supposed to come out as on pre-orders. It's sold out everywhere. We're in here and apparently in UK of McFarlane's Zatanna cover, because there's a Detective Chimp with her, so he has two things. So apparently, I was looking at, because I was watching some YouTubers talking about it, because I kind of like to see what they look like, you know, like what they buy and what's actually popular. Zatanna is always, you know, like I wouldn't mind having her in the collection there, but you know, I was looking up to see sold out. All but pre-order sold out. So like you haven't even come out yet. It's already sold out.
Wow.
So there you go. McFarlane and action figures. It makes money for everyone, but somehow
I feel like that's got to be that action figures have got to make him more money than anything he's brought in from comics, would be my guess, because he's had his hand in so many different lines of action figures.
Yeah,
it's really incredible.
Yeah. And he's very passionate about it.
I love going to Galaxy and looking at the action figures. I know I've said it before, but every time I go, I look at them, and I always get so close to buying one, and I don't. Yeah, I always put it down, but it's just so great to look at that stuff.
Yeah. All right. So I don't have anything else to share. You?
No, me neither. I don't have anything else that I've read. That was it.
Cool. Well, glad to see you before you didn't left me completely alone.
No,
it's really weird.
I was pushing since I chair the meeting. I'm like, okay, we got to get moving here. Let's get focused, people. Focus.
Anyway, okay, I'll end this here. Thank you for 424 describing a couple of things to us.
Yeah, nice to see you there, 420.
We'll maybe talk next week. I'm not sure about that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Ciao. Later. Bye. Oh no, that's rude.